welcome to the ShedRoom podcast. My name is Leon Noel, and this is
B.A. Jones.
And we have a couple awesome guests on today. The first person I'd like to introduce is Bryce.
Howdy.
Hey, how's it going, Bryce? And Kat, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you? Hello, everyone.
Awesome. I'm super excited that we were actually all able to get here on time.
We all made it.
Yep.
Time-ish.
Dealing with the Tampa traffic. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, I'd like to kind of start this off. This is our first, podcast. I introduced myself. We kind of talked beforehand, but I didn't really get to introduce myself at all. My actual name is Joe Carter. Okay. Not a very exciting name. So either way, they.
I don't know. I think the Carters have done pretty well in the music industry.
Well, it's technically Mick Carter.
Okay.
I got a Mick Arthur.
Got many names.
Yeah, I got a Mick Arthur Scottish lineage is technically where I'm from. So.
Okay.
Son of Arthur.
Wow.
And
Sword from the Stone. All right.
yep. Yeah, you know. Yep, you know exactly.
That's
Yep.
old school.
Very old school. But
It's medieval.
yeah, so I kind of did the Leon Noel thing to consolidate my name for our website because it's only 8 letters. And if, say, you didn't know English...
I was in the same mindset when coming up with my company name. It was like, for logos, I just... 4 and 4. It just made sense.
If you go by statistics, smaller logos, it's easier to remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Less letters to remember. And so in my case, Leon Noel's...
Same thing with stage names.
Yes.
Same thing with stage names.
Well, Leon Noel's a palindrome, so it's spelled the same way backwards and forwards.
Oh.
So if you didn't know English,
Noel.
if you can at least
Leon.
know the first 4, then you know the last 4. And then it's .com
That's
or
smart.
.net or whatever.
Okay.
And, just fun fact, it's lion waiting to be born. It's Hebrew and Greek.
Oh.
Lion waiting to be born.
I'm learning all sorts of new things today.
I know, me too.
So it's just like I try to be multifaceted with the whole naming and stuff like that, but just Tampa native, and I've been in the music scene, I would say music industry area for, I started orchestral as a kid, but 16, heavy metal kind of took off there, new metal, the 2000s and 90s. It
was
was
the best.
Yes, yeah. So I'm a Slipknot, Korn, fucking metalhead kid from back in the day, so that's kind of where I come from, kind of deal. But
Chains
I'm
out of your
interested to hear from you.
Right.
Next, where are you from?
Originally, my dad, he was in the Air Force. He was an instructor in San Antonio, like the Air Force boot camp. But so I was born in Texas, and then my mom, she's from the Bay Area, so I don't know, when I was 7 or something, whenever my dad retired, we all moved here to the Bay Area where her family's from, and been here ever since. So 20-some years or something like that.
Heck yeah. So basically a native too.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you know the gig around here then?
Yeah, been playing drums around the area too for a while. Got an original band and a couple of cover bands that I play with, around town, all the beach bars and all that good stuff.
I think you're phenomenal.
The tourist money,
Yeah.
Gotta
pay some bills. It's fun though.
Absolutely.
It's fun. We're blessed to be in an area where you can be a full-time musician.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so busy out here.
Yeah, it is.
All the time.
there's somewhere to play for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we actually met, I've seen you online for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like, chops. This guy knows his shit. It was just good. He's really good. He can pocket and groove and shuffle and then throw in those tasteful fills here and there. And then he has some chops too when he wants to.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying watching him, on the side, and happy that we were able to get together. This whole podcast, technically, the ShedRoom, shedding is a gospel drummer term.
Yeah.
It's where all a bunch of drummers get together, practice together, learn together. It's to help bring up the new guys, and for the old guys to learn from the new guys, and vice versa, sharing of ideas and stuff like that. So that's kind of what the podcast is. We don't all have to be drummers to do that exact thing. So that's kind of the idea of that, and I want it to be more tailored towards like a learning resource and stuff like that for new up-and-coming musicians and stuff. And so I learn from new people, and I learn from the pros. And so that's why it doesn't matter to me what necessarily your guys' length of time in the industry or doing music is the fact is that you guys are active musicians.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. And you're doing stuff like this. You're going out doing interviews, podcasts, which is super important to actually start gaining traction and start actually, doing meaningful, media coverage and stuff like that, and having stuff that you can, post and share later on down the road. So kudos for, how old are you guys?
I turned 29 at the end of this month.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm 19 actually, so yeah, I'm a youngster.
Man, I wish I was doing this when I was young.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're in a very good spot. So, so kudos.
I've been put in front of a lot of amazing opportunities, like for the age I am. So I feel like super blessed to be where I'm at.
I think I was really gigging when I was 19.
I was definitely not.
Yeah.
I was just driving and doing
I was just
podcasts
in
at
church, I
19.
think, and I'd have like a gig every now and then.
We were getting paid $50 to travel to shitty bars.
At least
you
you're
all
still
started
getting paid.
somewhere though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Even if it was a shitty bar, it was still an opportunity to put yourself out there and
It was definitely a learning experience.
Yeah, you learned a lot for sure. I've been
mostly
in
how
front
to
of
tear
a
down
lot
and
of
set up
places.
really fast.
Do you guys get paid at the end at least?
Sometimes no. Sometimes
Yeah,
yes.
sometimes you don't get paid for nothing.
That's the lesson.
Yeah,
Like,
there was
Yeah.
never a contract. So
Yeah.
that's the main thing. So nowadays I would if I was starting up with a band again and know that I'm going to do a touring kind of situation, pulling an LLC, we're pulling insurance.
Definitely.
There's going to be contracts for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not fucking around
I'm
with that.
basically
no more.
putting
You know what I mean?
together a 28 city tour right now, and the amount of paperwork that just stacks up because you have to cross your T's, dot your
Yeah.
I's.
Gotta be
You
professional.
can't mess
Dude,
around. It's a lot of money.
Remember, whatever that LLC is, especially in the entertainment realm, you have 15 years of all your receipts that it took to make that business. You can write those off in a lump.
Yeah.
So save those receipts. All mine are digital.
Trust me.
So I haven't wrote any of my equipment off.
I got my filing cabinets.
Yep,
Trust me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of waiting, and so whenever I'm ready to fully pop the LLC for a project or for a recording studio or for whatever, or maybe just Leon Noel music, for the label thing or something like that, and pull an actual LLC so I can hold insurance for live shows and stuff. When that happens, then I'll make those moves. But until then, there's really no point of me spending the extra money. Having to have all those extra tax steps, I'm not making enough necessarily
so you're
to
allowed
justify.
hold on, let me get this correct. So you're allowed to hold on to all your receipts before you shoot for the LLC?
So basically, all of the money that it took and equipment that you purchased to create the business. So all your equipment, in my case, it's a recording studio, production stuff. So, and teaching. So this drum kit. Yeah. My other drum kit, all the microphones, everything. You know what I mean?
You can pre-set that up.
Yeah,
so
you get 50%
even
back.
if you don't have the LLC yet, you can hold on to that and apply it afterwards. Mm-hmm. That's information, and that's good.
Yeah, no, it's super important because you can basically take a giant, it's 50%, and that includes tattoos, that includes cosmetic surgery, it's entertainment. So all that stuff too, you can literally write off your tattoos.
You telling me I need a nose job?
Interesting.
So anything that you got a haircut, got your nails done, or a photo shoot, all that stuff can be written off.
Not
on your
even
taxes
creative
technically.
about it. Just it's stuff that you're actually doing, for the job, the entertainment. So it's not even like you're doing creative tax write-offs.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to hear. We introduced ourselves and stuff, and I think we should do Bryce next. Yeah, I think we should do Bryce next.
So where did you want me to start?
Yeah, so where are you from, and where are you living now?
Technically, I'm from here. I was born up north in the Connecticut, Jersey area, but I moved when I was 8. So I grew up in Florida. I'm a Florida man through and through. It's a culture out here for sure. But so Pinellas Park, St. Pete, that kind of area,
I like that area.
South Side and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so we're all pretty much from there.
I'm a gutter punk.
Yeah,
So
I like St. Pete. I lived over there for about a year. I wish I could go back. I'm over in Tampa now, which is cool, but I love St. Pete.
It's a survival as they keep 20-30% tax, the rent increases and whatnot. So I'm just like, let's make this work because I can't move.
I always find myself having to travel over there too for mostly any session work or anything.
Most of my work
That's where
is
everything
over.
is at.
It's a party, man. Like, absolutely.
It's a party.
Anything downtown's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's great. Like it's getting revitalized. It's beautiful. Like, I mean, that's why everyone's moving down here. It's the number one move to spot right now. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you find yourself like staying in this area and stuff? Or
it's hard. It's hard not to like, because of like the prices and stick around. But like, I know this is my city. Like I know everyone there. Like I've built this wonderful promotion company for like the last decade. So like it's established. We just won Best of the Bay last year. Like,
Heck yeah.
So
that's
it's just
face melt.
Definitely.
Face melt.
Yeah, that's definitely a company.
Yeah, face melt. So yeah, we've just expanded this like huge hip hop community that wasn't working together for like when I started, and then now that almost all the promotion companies with hip hop all work in and out and work with each other, and it's just
perfect.
Yeah, it's a beautiful community.
I wish the freaking metal scene could have did that in the 2000s.
There was an amazing metal scene in the Bay Area.
Well, like, all of our small, medium-sized venues shut down. So it's like now it's all DIY venues or huge Janus-sized venues that is just there's just no middle road. Yep. So like it's an uphill battle for the touring industry right now.
So what got you into the promotion? What started Face Melt?
Well, that was the thing. Like I said, people weren't working together as far as like trying to let their circles blend in with these circles. So like I would spend all my time just messaging and calling promoters, and I didn't even get a no. Like it was just like dead radio silence. No answers. I'm just like, well, I have resources. I know venues. I know DJs, and I'm just like I already throwing together gatherings at my house parties and whatnot. So it's like I know how to bring a crowd together. So I was just like, let me just fit the bill. I'm just gonna book the venue and run the show myself.
So my
very first performance was one that I had booked for myself.
That's cool.
And then I threw a bunch of other artists who were having the same difficulties getting booked for shows, and when's the next one? All right, cool. So then a couple months, plan another one, and a couple months, and then now it's getting to, it turned into like a monthly thing. Now it's almost getting into like a bi-weekly thing. So
heck yeah.
Yeah,
how it worked back in the MySpace days. We would literally just like, you'd see a band coming through, metal, you'd never think in a million years you'd be able to open for them or anything like that. But you see them coming through, they maybe got 4 or 5 people on the ticket, and you're like, hey, this Tampa show's coming up in 3 months. You guys need another band, maybe an opener or something. And I was pleasantly surprised from some of the bands that we were able to open up for that I never thought in a million years. But back then, at least, when you were contacting on them, you were actually talking to somebody from the band, not a booking agent. You know what I mean? So it wasn't getting filtered.
Response.
Yeah, it wasn't getting filtered.
My band page, automated response. This is you. Thanks. We'll get back with you shortly.
But once they do get back to you, it's like very important that you actually follow through and actually sell some tickets and say that what you're gonna do. Like when a promoter actually got back to me to do a show, he's like, Orlando, that's the closest I got for you, and you need to sell 30 tickets. And I was like, I don't have crowds in Orlando, so I had to actually push 30 tickets, St. Pete people, convince them to drive 2 hours to Orlando to come. I sold 29 tickets. I had one more ticket in my backpack ready to go. And from that point on, he booked me for all the Tampa, the St. Pete shows, all the big names, the big touring acts that came in through here in the hip-hop community. Basically, I was the go-to guy because I could sell tickets, and like
that is the hardest part. Back in the day, people would buy their own tickets. It was like pay to play.
Yeah,
you buy your own tickets, nobody shows up.
Yeah, it is a form. It is a form of pay to play, but I still was getting a percentage off of the tickets on the back end, so it was worthwhile.
That whole thing only applies to if you cannot sell tickets. If you can sell tickets, then it's great because it's exactly what you should be doing. You should be selling tickets to the show. And even if you're not a big band, you should be doing some footwork, maybe going to a local mall or something, passing out actual flyers.
You have to. It's like a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people want to say just let the music speak for itself. It will to a certain extent, but you have to do the legwork and like market and promote. There's like no other way around. Especially if you don't have the money to like get commercials and billboards. You have to grassroots it, flyers, message people directly these days. That's what I try to do. I send like personal messages, like video messages. And,
marketing is the most humbling thing. It is like it is an awkward thing to do, to just go up to someone and try to convince them, hey, I have value. You want to come see me like perform? Like, it is, if you aren't like a personable person to begin with, it is the most anxiety-driven thing to just go out in public and talk to strangers and like hand out a flyer and stuff.
Another easy part about the metal days was you could see those people from a fucking mile away at the
exactly.
You know exactly who to walk up to for the
Same thing
tickets.
with hip-hop. You know who's going to go to a hip-hop show. Like, you just, alright, they look fun. Like, yeah.
But I like to tangent one more time. Yep, Kate Perdue.
So my name is Kat Hines. So I grew up in Spring Hill area, which is about like 45 minutes from here. Sometimes with traffic, like an hour.
Just north of Tampa.
Yeah, so
That's technically where I went to school.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So I actually was born in Spring Hill. But my mom's side of the family, they're all from like Staten Island, and then actually I have some family in Sicily, which is interesting. I've never been out there, but I'd love to go. But yeah, so I've just been kind of singing since I was like, when I was like 2 years old. I was walking around the house just like mumbling like Jingle Bell tunes and like just singing. And as I got older, it kind of just progressed into something like so much more, because it's truly like my passion and my dream. So kind of just.
Do you have any plans to try to go to like school or anything like that, like formal style thing?
I don't think so. I've never really been into like the school thing. Like I graduated high school, which
Did you do
was
like chorus or anything?
I did do chorus. So like when I was in middle school, I did chorus. But like I've always had like an ear of just like, if I hear a certain chord or a certain key, like I just know. Like it's just because I feel so much like when I sing too. So like I mean music theory, obviously, like if you want to learn more in depth about it, like go for it.
But sometimes it's nice to keep it raw.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of just raw with what I do. Like it's all natural. I never add like auto-tune to what I do. It's just all me. So like, yeah.
Yeah.
Try adding some auto-tune. I did it for like the first time after like a decade. Wild. Like,
there used to be this auto-tune app for like Android back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know exactly where you're talking to it.
Tune Me or something, but
Oh, yeah.
I would make like I had this stupid like ringtone that I like made. It was me singing I would just make up these random just songs. You know, just me singing something stupid. But yeah,
everyone was
try some
T-Pain for a summer.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's like been some auto-tune on some of my songs, but most like the guy I work with, like he tries to keep everything just like as raw as it is.
Well, I think if you use it in a fun way and not have the mentality that it's like it's a serious thing, or you know, like use it in a fun way.
For sure.
Well, I mean, as a sound engineer, like you can also use autotune, and if you use it correctly for like how it was supposed to be used, you won't hear the robotic version.
Yeah,
It's just kind of supposed to be leveling out those like rough
and it's
patches.
really more the more on pitch you sing, the less you're gonna hear it.
Yeah,
too.
the
exactly.
better it is.
So like a lot of times when you hear the rappers and you hear it really like going off, it's because they are terrible singers.
Right. Yeah.
Well, some people do it on purpose. Too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they just want that
They're
sound.
off key on purpose just to get it to modulate real hard. Yeah. One thing a lot of people don't understand with autotune too is you can use it in your mastering for your very last master bus, and say if you want the overall key of the song and everything to kind of blend as far as overall, you very lightly use it, but you can set it for a key and stuff. If there's a lot of key changes, then you would have to automate those key changes too.
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
But yeah, it makes everything gel super hard at that point. Even some of the fundamentals you'll get from the drums and the rhythm section and stuff like that, it will blend with the highs a lot better and whatnot. And I've noticed too, it takes away some of the phasing issues you get out on the outside too. It brings everything a lot more into the center whenever everything tonally is like a little bit more, melded, I guess you can say. But yeah, I just got the auto-tune set up from Waves like maybe last year and stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I haven't ever really used it until I could
that.
see how you could actually use it for mastering. And then all I would normally use it for would somebody botch a note, you know, if they're playing guitar or something like that. They botch a note.
I've never gotten to like use like real auto-tune software. It's always like an app. I think GarageBand back in the day had it like on
GarageBand
iPad too. It still has it?
Yeah, because I use GarageBand to like create. Because I actually have my own little setup where I'm kind of just like doing my own
really
engineering and stuff. Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you use it on what do you use it on the iPad
I use it
or
on
MacBook?
my MacBook, but I also have the big iMac computer thing.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the name, but I use it on there too.
Yeah.
I like to use
And I use Pro
GarageBand,
Tools
too.
also.
A lot of people...
Pro Tools is industry standard.
Yeah, I use Pro Tools for sure. Like,
GarageBand is one of those
need the
things
top
that
quality.
if
Yeah,
you are an
exactly.
Apple user, you need to at least understand it. It's one of those awesome free softwares that
Yes.
when you
It's
bounce it out,
powerful. It does a lot.
yeah, it's basically like Baby Logic almost.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
Logic
mean?
Light.
Yeah, so it's when you bounce what you're bouncing out of there, you're getting essentially a Logic Pro
Good
product by the
quality,
end of
yeah.
it. So it's way more powerful than a lot of people give it credit for. And if I was on a budget, use that shit. It's definitely worth it.
Most
you know what I mean?
definitely.
It's one of those ones. And
That's what I use because really when I'm doing like recording drums, I'm just doing just raw, just flat drums, not adding any plugins or EQ. And even if I do, it's just simple EQ, which you can do in GarageBand perfectly fine. But yeah, GarageBand's awesome.
It is, yeah. It has a lot of different, like, just different techniques you can add to, like, the song. Like, you don't, like, they have the drums. They just have all these things that are, like...
Yeah, that's what I run my MIDI drums
Perfect.
through whenever I'm doing anything like electronic drum runs. Like a band comes over, practices in my tiny apartment. Electronic drums run through GarageBand, and it's perfect. I think I sent you some of those recordings. Yeah,
absolutely.
Sounds pretty good.
Have you guys ever tried Reaper?
I have
Because that's
not.
free.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, so if you ever want to try a free one, that's just awesome. Reaper
Oh, perfect.
works on Windows or Mac, but what's good about Reaper is so say you can't afford Pro Tools or whatever, it has skins for a bunch of different DAWs other than like Ableton.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can put a Pro Tools skin on Reaper and
That's
it's
cool.
pretty
Like a body
close.
kit.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty close, and they have a bunch of different skins
Yeah.
for Logic, for
Oh, wow.
so if you have a workflow that you're kind of used to,
Yeah.
even though it's a free setup, that's just the engine, and then you can put these
Gotcha.
different skins
That's
on there.
cool.
That's pretty unique for them
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Okay.
they're definitely worth checking out. That's another one that's just free.
Yeah.
It's open source and it's fully unlocked, so it's not like a light version of something
Right.
else. You know what I mean? So you have all the tools with that one.
I wish I knew about these like when I was first starting because my first one was Audacity. And it was just like,
That's the one.
I learned how to like make Audacity sound
Yeah.
decent. Like that was an uphill battle. So
Yeah, ours
like,
was Adobe Edition.
I started out making ringtones on Audacity. I'd sell them for like 50 cents. Back when people had ringtones.
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
showing my age.
yeah, if I hear a ringtone in public, I'm gonna be a little like, come on, put that on vibrate.
At least the Apple tone.
Yeah, something.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
mine's always on vibrate, but I got the Solid Snake fucking quarter from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no idea even what mine would be.
I got that and an 8-bit duck fucking quack for notifications. The most annoying thing I could think of to get yelled at the office. But so what kind of upcoming shows and stuff do you have coming up?
So for me, the next show I have is going to be April 12th with the Heartwreckers. And the Heartwreckers, I'm not like promoted by them or anything, but they're from Nashville, Tennessee. And I just got to perform with them it was like March 3rd out at Whitehead Farms.
Yeah, I saw some videos from that too, and I watched some other
It was a
videos. They were really
blast.
good.
Where's
yeah.
Whitehead Farms? That's in Florida?
Yeah,
It's in Brooksville.
Yeah, the old
South
Salami
Brooksville
Ranch.
as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where Orange Blossom was.
Okay.
Yep, and I just got done with Whippersnap Festival, which was at Florida Sand Music Ranch.
So was that the festival they just had, Whippersnap?
Yeah, I performed with Barefoot Fred, and then I performed with my own band.
Heck yeah.
So it was kick ass, man. Like
Get that flyer.
it was amazing.
Get that festival flyer if you could find it.
Yeah, they like had this huge like
Like a
I don't even know what it was, but they were like recording, and it was like this huge like TV thing, and it was like such amazing footage. I'm like, I don't even know what it was, but I'm waiting for that footage. So when I get it, for sure it'll be out there.
Heck yeah.
My website is cathines.com. All my
Right on.
socials are linked to that. So keep an eye on what I post, and footage should be out
So
soon.
how did you link up with the Heart Records? That's it?
Yeah.
How did you link up with them?
So the people, I think I can say their name, like Stacy and Donnie, they kind of own the Whitehead Farms now, and they seen me perform at Brian's Place, which is my set gig every Friday, 8 p.m. Out in Hernando Beach.
Yeah, that's like a great spot
Yeah,
too.
it's so nice out there, weather permitting, of course, because it's outside.
Classic Florida.
Right, the
How far away
weather's
is that from like the
bipolar.
R Beach spot? If that's even still around.
Our beach, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it's at least like 15 minutes, but
Yeah, so
our
kinda
beach isn't
that
really
same
like a thing. I don't
anymore.
feel like anymore.
Yeah.
Because I haven't heard of it in a while.
Yeah.
Like being really the spot.
That's how long it's been for me since I've been out there.
But there's not really a lot happening in Spring Hill. So me and my guitarist Dave, we tend to come out to like Tampa, St. Pete, Wesley Chapel, because that's where it's all like happening.
Where people
Okay.
gather. Yeah.
Yeah, like we did Gasparilla, which was a blast.
Don't undersell that. That's a big show.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Like there was a crap ton of people, and now I'm like working with this band in St. Pete, so I'm kind of like hopping around at this point. So
Yeah, you're gonna become like an endorphin, adrenaline junkie after a little bit.
I know,
It'll
like,
happen
I'm always on the
quick.
go.
That's my favorite part of like performing. It's
It's
just
a blast.
hair standing up. That's how I get the whole
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? Because I love feeding off the crowd.
Is that
Like
so-
they-
The
energy
they
is, like,
energize me so
everything.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never feel like necessarily nervous or I guess I could feel that here and there. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm usually so busy.
exactly, like
You
you're
know?
so like into it. Like for me, I used to be like when I wasn't as confident, I was more nervous. But now that I feel like really confident with what I do, the nervousness is just gone. Like
Yeah.
I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah,
now,
once
for
you can
sure.
start having fun with it, that's actually when
Yeah.
you start performing the
You
best.
start performing the best,
Yeah.
and you like start just feeling the energy of everybody else. Like I'm all about like energy feeling and like the positive vibes.
It's,
Like
you
I
know,
just
pass it
feel
back and
so
forth.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing is, you know, giving it to the crowd, then giving it back to you. If you can really learn that as a
Yeah.
skill by itself, and you're in a great position too, as like being a front person or somebody that can
Yeah.
actually move around on stage and
Exactly.
you can interact with the crowd and,
Right,
and
like
make
at
sure that
Brian's,
it's hard to see
it's
sometimes.
very close and personal. Like I'm here and you guys are like right here, so you have them in like the palm of your hand, and
Exactly.
like you can feel that. Like they're just locked in with you, and it's like one of the things too that my guitarist tells me is like when you leave a gig, you can just feel that energy still there, especially if it's like good energy.
Yes.
You just feel it still there. Like it's crazy.
It's a very powerful thing to be
It
able
is.
to like shift people's emotions in real time.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it does
like,
something.
It is.
think
It's
when
it's
you're-
a high. It's a power that you just can't mimic anywhere else. Like
When
the
you're-
stage is something else.
When you're performing, you're definitely, I guess you could say maybe manipulating emotion. Cause
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what
pretty
it
much.
is.
think of the words. Usually
Think
they're
of what you're saying.
They're emotion based, whether
Yeah.
it's sad or like
My
happy
songs are
or,
very emotional.
you know, so,
I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
like the songs I sing, like I do my originals, but mostly with Dave at Brian's, we just do all covers. But we strip them all down to acoustic to the point where like I have people coming up to me like I never even knew what this song was saying until like I heard you sing it, and they come up to me in tears, like bawling their eyes out. And I'm just like, "Are you like all right?" And they're like, "You just moved me." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like,
Yeah, drummers
making
don't get
someone
that.
cry, making someone cry at a show is
yeah,
definitely
and
one
it
of the
happens
weirdest
so often.
feelings.
I'm like, I don't know how to like feel? I guess like happy or bad? I don't know. Like
I have like people coming up trying to give me hugs. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I'm good now. Just know that like I was writing that like a different place. But we're good now.
We're good now.
What the
Good
rhythm
now,
section
like-
gets is we get to like look out in the crowd when you're playing, and when you see those hips starting to move, you know,
Yeah,
doing
you're
something
like,
good.
okay, I'm doing something. I'm doing
Yeah.
something.
So, Bryce, what style of music would you say you
just
do
like
or
every other
did,
year.
or
So I was doing hip hop, kind of more of like a boom bap at first, and then it kind of shifted into more of an aggressive South hip hop, Florida style raps and whatnot. Especially when XXX and Ski Mask were doing their circuits through here, and I was doing shows with them. It was yeah, but like now it's shifting because now I have like instrumentalists, drummers, a bunch of people who want to like join me on these
Please
tours.
bring these tunes back to the hip hop.
Yeah, so like now we're looking into like this kind of like it's just kind of like push pit punk. Like it's just like aggressive, repetitive beats. Like just 808s are being added into it, so it still has that hip hop flair to it. But like it is just I'm looking for energy because like COVID happened. And like I think right before COVID, everyone was at like the peak of concert energy as far as like my generation. Like people were actually doing mosh pits and like stage diving and stuff. And now we do shows post COVID, and there's just a lot of
no energy.
that no one wants to interact because they're just scared. And it's like if you can just like
watch the music.
I just want to hop off the stage and grab them by the shirt.
I feel
and
it's
shake
funny.
them.
Ever since I got like injured from a car accident and stuff, I always want to be up in the front.
Yeah.
But it's like I gotta be so careful,
Yeah.
and then I gotta kind of like hide next to the speakers.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I get blasted.
Especially as the audiences get older, a lot of like they're like, "It's just gonna be seating there." I'm like, "That's your first question." Like, you gotta sit down. I'm already tired. Like,
Right,
it's
like-
I'm gonna be trying to tap into that young energy for the next little bit. Like people your age, like I want them to come out to the shows because they still have that passion and fire to do something. Like
I feel like some older people do, but it's like that COVID, like it really, I think it took a lot out of people, like because my energy is still like not 100% back from it. Like it
I'm
really messed
sleepy
people
every
up,
day.
right? Like,
Every day.
it's just different.
it's like it just traumatized like a whole. Everyone, like we all have some like leftover trauma from it.
One
Like,
thing that does help a lot, and I've been okayed to kind of go back into it a little bit more, 60%, but exercise. Yeah, make sure
Most
every
definitely.
day.
Yeah,
I just started.
I've been watching you.
I've been off my grind
you know,
with that.
that's one
I
thing we all
lost
need to do.
36 pounds, my
Oh,
guy.
damn.
Oh,
Like
yeah, man.
36 pounds in 3 months.
That's
Like
good.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
just
know
like
if you were going hard just for the music video, or if you were like,
a little bit
damn.
with that. I do want to be able to appropriately take
Yeah.
my shirt off.
You're
on
supposed
stage,
to, man.
but,
That's good, though.
But yeah, no, I did it for the mental, and like everything else was bonus. And
Yep.
like, oh my god, I feel like I'm on my A game, trying to
Yep.
make as much music as possible, and then I want to do this energy type music, so
Absolutely.
I need to be able to keep up with my own music.
Gotta keep up with
Yeah,
it.
It's
gotta
all
keep up
about,
with it.
starts with what you absorb, just
Yeah.
in your environment, your food, and your water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
and
definitely.
then your mental, and then your physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
just take care of that trifecta.
Yeah.
And
Body's a
you'll.
temple.
Yep, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You gotta
Yeah.
listen to it, man.
Yeah.
When it starts hurting, it's telling you.
There's something wrong.
I'm good at ignoring it.
And like the things people eat nowadays, like I was telling
Everything.
him, I'm like, I try to eat like I have this app called Yuka. It scans everything. It lets you know like what chemicals are in your food.
Wow.
Because I steer away. If I cannot pronounce what's in my food, I will not eat it.
I'm gonna need to get
Like-
that. I'm gonna need to
I
get
might
that
actually
app.
share that like a
Yes,
description or something.
Yuka, guys.
Probably still eat
It's
it,
not promoted
honestly.
by me, but
I want that app.
Spell that
I'm
real
probably
quick.
so
still
it's
gonna eat
YUKA.
Yeah, I just want to see what bad stuff's in it.
When I tell you the amount
so I can
of
talk about
things
it,
are
yeah.
just filled with like chemicals, and it's like I believe that's why so many people are like chronically ill because they're doing it to themselves. It's like what they're eating, you know, like they're not taking care of their bodies. So like
So I was doing fast food with
It's
a
fast
with a
food, so
large
bad.
soda, 3 meals a day.
yikes, man.
It was
Yeah, at this
Soda
point,
is
I would
so
die.
bad.
cut
Pockets
all that
and
out.
body were filled.
I
Yeah.
cut all the soda. I cut all the alcohol out. I minimize fast food. Like even then, I try to make the healthy choices. Go grilled chicken and stuff like that. And like
I like quit drinking soda in like 7th grade. I never touched soda again.
I
don't even know why.
I drink a lot of water and sweet tea, if like anything. Sweet tea's not good for me at all.
You're in the South. I have to drink a little bit of sweet tea.
I find the transition.
It's brown water. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to. You'd be rude not to.
But other than that, it's just like a lot of water for me. It wasn't an accident. I saw this guy walking with this water jug. It was this big water jug. I was like, man, where'd you get that? He was like, Amazon. Went on Amazon. There's a $5 coupon. I had that water jug like 6 hours later. It's a whole gallon. Like, I don't drink that much water. Good. So, like, it's in my car now, but it's got like yesterday's water in it. We'll finish that tomorrow.
So, what upcoming shows and stuff you got coming down the pipe? And kind of, you can go, a few months into the future too.
As a promoter, I do have to go a few months into the future. So tonight we have Drippy Showcase. You guys probably won't because we still have to upload this to the socials and whatnot. But it is actually a show that we do every month. We started it back in September last year. Basically, I had to, because we do these monthly shows that are curated specifically annually for different types of music. We've only been doing hip hop for the longest time, and now I'm trying to shift into more platforms that open up for more R&B, more acoustic, folk, stuff like that. Droopy Showcase is still predominantly hip hop, but it is an open platform. So if you guys want to message me after this drops every month in Largo. Then we have our annual events that they're getting up to like 7th, 8th year events, all hip hop. We do bring in a few tour acts. We have a tour act at the end of the month coming from Missouri. Ooh. And then we brought some people in from New York, California. So like outside the states, like I'm definitely trying to tap into those artists and bring them into our community because it is a very tourist-based community, but like it is very music-based. Like every music person out here has an opportunity at some sort of platform. So there's just so much to be done. And then the big project that I'm working on right now is my own personal headlining tour. I've done a couple of headlining tours through the Southeast, but now this is the big leap. 28 cities, starts in Florida, ends in Florida, goes through the Midwest, crosses the top states, down the East Coast, month long, 28 cities, starts in July 26th, ends August 24th.
Nice.
And we're hitting places like Nashville and stuff like that, so it's...
and I'm definitely going to make sure with both you guys to get as much future shows as you guys have coming up, like flyers made and stuff.
Sure.
And definitely just shoot me stuff in private message when something's coming up.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I wanted to try to do is anybody that comes on, I just shoot me stuff you guys are doing.
Sometimes I forget what I have coming up, honestly, because there's so much.
It's like
in April, I'll be going to Brooklyn because I won this show at Pegasus, and they're like part of these, it's like, his name's Moss, but he's part of this like record label company, but they're supposed to be flying me out in April to Brooklyn, so I'll get to kind of sing some of my original stuff.
Enjoy the city. Enjoy the city while you're out there.
Talk to some record label representatives out there.
York's a cool city. It doesn't like...
York's interesting, I feel
You've been there before?
Yeah, so I have a lot of family in New York and Jersey, and...
Which part of Jersey?
It's Marlboro.
Okay.
Marlboro.
I can't pronounce that. Marlboro, New Jersey or something.
I was trying to put some redneck slang on it.
Marlboro. Yeah. But it's just different. Like I feel like when I went recently, it was very like dark, like gloomy, rainy. I'm used to the sun. I grew up in the sun. I'm like depressing. It was depressing.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I don't like that.
It's that Baltic area.
The weather,
feel.
I can see that. The weather do that. Florida's like that.
It's
like it's the sunshine state.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's hard to like. I fly out to all the different places, and then every time I come back here, I get to the Tampa airport, see some palm trees, see some sun. Like, I can't ever leave here, man.
Right?
It's just so nice. Like,
I get lucky to visit a bunch of different places around the country for engineering stuff, not music, regular engineering. So luckily I get to come back kind of thing. You know? So I get to see it, be like, okay, that's cool. You had a good restaurant. You don't have to make my bed because I'm at a hotel. You know
Snow is
yeah.
nice to visit.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Well, see, that's another thing. I've only touched snow once. I was 2.
I've never seen snow.
And my sister hit me with a
guys.
snowball, and that was it.
Pretty much in the same boat when I was born in San Antonio in Texas, and it snows everywhere but Florida, like everywhere but
Yeah.
Florida. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You see those maps where it's like 20 degrees, 15 degrees, and it's like 60 degrees. And like, yeah, we are. Like,
Yeah, t-shirt and
That's
jeans.
t-shirts
funny.
and yeah. Oh, I get to
Everybody's so
wear a
jelly
jacket today. Oh man, I get to really make the outfit come together. Like the one winter day in Florida a year.
The one we
So earlier you mentioned, I think you mentioned a music video. What have you shot a music video recently?
I
Yeah.
shot a music video 4 or 5 days ago.
Was that
like I said,
for
I'm
your music?
Yeah,
or-
I'm shifting into more like pop punk vibes. Like I said, there's still gonna be some hip hop elements into it. But we were shooting a music video for Funny Way.
Funny Way?
Funny Way. It's kind of a breakup song, kind of like a self-realization song. But it's the first of a bunch of music videos that I'm trying to film because like content's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I was in the mindset because I'm like an early hip hop, not early because early for me would be like early 2010s, late 2000s. So like back in the era where like it was the end of like mixtapes and albums. So like I was for the last few years I've still been in the mindset that that's still the format that you got to do. Like I got to make this big project and promote the project. But the problem is that I'm seeing with that is you spend 6 months, a year making that, and
nothing's out.
Nothing's been out. You haven't kept active, and then you release it all at once. You just
Yeah.
the whole
Blow
thing
your
gets.
load.
Nobody's seen it.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, you blow your load real quick, and like a lot of those songs might actually get buried because of people's attention span. They're not gonna sit and listen to 40 minutes of an album. They just want give me 3 minutes because I gotta get back to my work day because I'm trying to survive out here too.
Right.
So like now I'm in the mindset of all right, singles. So we gotta do singles.
Hit 'em with stuff.
You hit them
Yeah, I think
periodically.
that's a formula that works for sure these
Keep
days.
the tap going basically because people's attention span is very finicky, very quick. Gets even quicker with every platform that releases. Like the Vine days, it was like you had 7 seconds. TikTok now you have less than 3 seconds to get their attention.
Yeah.
Put a
Like,
lot in those vines in 7
I know.
seconds. People are so creative.
Yeah,
yeah.
creative.
And now TikTok, like, you have less than 3 seconds to get their attention. Like, they even have a term called the millennial pause. Like, people who just don't clip the first bit of their their videos off, and it's just like, they have like a half second. That half second's enough to make someone, whoop,
Yeah.
just, I'm gonna skip that. They obviously don't know what they're doing. So yeah, it's just so finicky to grab someone's attention. So I figured... So I figured music video, 2-3 pieces of content surrounding that. So 2-3 TikToks, 2-3 Instagram reels, maybe a Facebook sponsored ad, maybe Google ads, and then like by the time all that hits someone's line, and like 2, 3, 4 weeks down the line, I've already done it again with another song with 2-3 TikToks, 2-3 Instagrams, and keep it the motion flowing that way because. Gotta stay active.
Yeah.
Like an album, and then you just promote the album for a month or 2 afterwards, and you go silent for another 6 to 8 months as you make the next one. Is not it.
Is they'll make professionals as far as they'll make a bunch of content, over a period of time, kind of like what I'm going to do for the whole podcast thing, but
Have it in stock.
But yeah, so you have it in stock, and then you do different release dates.
So that's
so it kind of automatically releases little bits at a time on all your different platforms.
Yeah, so that's actually what we were talking about before the podcast started. Just make a whole day of it.
Right.
Bring a few outfits.
Yep.
Go to a few different
Wardrobe
locations.
changes, everything.
No one knows, but like you just don't have time to do it daily. So if you spend, all right, I'm gonna do 2 days of the week for this month. Just do content, and you just spend 8 to 12 hours of these 2 days just filming all the BS that you don't want to constantly do. Change outfits 3-4 times. Do the same song. Like I see a lot of artists that go into like parks, downtown, stuff like that. Shift outfits, and then just rap their 30-second verse into the camera in different places.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just periodically drop that over time. And that way you're not spending all this time trying to keep up with content because you've already spent a day making a month's worth of content.
Absolutely. Yeah, and what I was going to say before, too, is the statistics for all the music industry stuff just dropped for 2023. And last year, 2 minutes and 33 seconds was the average time for all the top hits and Grammy wins and stuff. So that's how short
all my songs,
song.
all my songs are 2-3 minutes right now. So I'm feeling good about that statistic.
Open up, verse, hook, close it out. You know what I mean? And you're pretty
short,
much,
simple, sweet. And then you keep it so short, they have to hit it again. Now you have 2 plays.
But if you look back, when they first started taking all these statistics, Beatles and stuff like that, it was around that time. Like all the Beatles hits were around 2 minutes 45 seconds and stuff like that, and which was kind of popular back then. You know, jingles more or less. And then in the 80s, because you didn't have social media. You didn't have all these things pulling people's attention away. You really didn't even have video games. So a lot of people enjoyed music. You know what I mean? You listened to tapes and CDs. I had a fucking Walkman. I had a CD, a little fucking...
Stairway to Heaven and all that. Just sit down for 8 minutes and have an experience.
All the bands that I liked. You would put the CD on, you would listen to it from start to finish, and it would be like 45 minutes long. Some of the songs are fucking 10 minutes.
Back in the album days, that was the way to go.
Stuff.
And so that's transitioned back to the shorter attention spans and shorter times. It's not necessarily bad or good or anything.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, and the only thing that I felt that kind of sucked too was piano has dropped off tremendously. Songs with piano are not popular anymore.
No.
And so
I think I saw that graph or something with most popular instruments.
Yeah, piano's like not a thing. I used to do piano.
It's like drums,
and then I kind of just stopped.
Well, they say if you learn piano, you can learn any instrument.
It's very helpful.
Yeah,
because the way the keys are, like everything's just laid out straight.
And it's like more natural. Like if you think about it with the guitar, like I was telling my friend about this, but like for me, I'm not even I don't write with my left hand. I don't do anything with my left hand, but I can play with my left hand like nothing. And then it's like it's not really natural, but like with the piano, it's more natural. You know, so I feel like it's an easier way maybe to like kind of get a head start of learning like chords and notes. Like
the basic music there. It's all basically
literally
laid out for you, kind of like text style.
I like it because it's very percussive. You know what I mean? For a stringed instrument.
Yeah.
You know, it's mallets hitting a string, so you got that percussive element unless you hold down the sustain pedal or something.
The piano is like on the downcline as far as like just popular or like
all it was going by was the top hits of 2023.
Like what they used.
So piano was on the decline. Songs that happened to be hits were more guitar and drums and bass guitar are always at the top. And when we were talking about like earlier, absorption of music and how a listener absorbs, we're all human beings and we all kind of work biologically a specific way. But your brain interprets the bass and rhythm first. You interpret low frequencies first.
Yeah.
So remember that in not necessarily the writing process, but in the mixing, mastering process by the end of it, make sure your lows are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make sure the lows in the mix sound great. That's what everybody's vibing to for the rhythm and dictate everything. And everything else I wouldn't say is supplemental, but is the icing and cherry. But your rhythm and your foundation is everything.
That's why they'll go back and remaster some of those like old classics and stuff. It's a really good exercise right there. There's a bunch of free resources where you can pull everybody, you know, Prince and Michael Jackson, and literally pull their multi-track sessions of their dry recordings, and you can mix and master everything yourself to practice. I was just looking at
I would feel so bad if I butchered Michael Jackson's.
His vocals were insane.
I believe that.
His
so many stacks. And
him stacking vocals were insane.
I think it's called Master the Mix or something. It's like a website, but you can they send you just the raw track from different sessions, and then
they go over it.
Yeah, then they go back over like at the end of the month, like, and then every month they go back over it and show you what they did to actually.
And then if you're picked as the favorite, you win a bunch of fucking gear.
Yeah.
So it's usually like $10,000
So
to
you got-
$30,000 worth of gear.
So you gotta
Nice.
really make Michael Jackson sound good.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
For real.
what was the name of your new song? The video you showed?
Funny Way.
Funny Way. And Kat, you
Yeah.
have a new song, correct?
I do. It's with my my buddy O'Shea. It's called Fire Endlessly. Right now it's on YouTube, but because we distributed it through TuneCore, which is another good distributing
What's it
site.
under on YouTube?
Fire Endlessly.
Under your name or O'Shea?
Under O'Shea.
How do you-
Yeah. It's OSHAE. And then Launier, which is LAUNIER.
Okay.
Yeah. And it should be on Spotify and Apple Music soon. It's just because like my profile is still being set up, so it's going to all over. So it's like takes time to.
That's the hardest part with the
Distribute.
distribution is
Yeah.
preemptive.
Then the time it takes, you
Yeah,
know.
because for DistroKid, if you just want to do the major platforms, it's like 3 days to a week
Yeah.
preemptive if you want it to release at a specific time. But for worldwide, you probably want to do like 30 days
Right.
ahead of
You have
time.
to
It kinda
have every
takes-
little
yeah.
thing correct.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a process for sure, but it's definitely a good song. So I would check it out for sure.
I might have to go do that.
Heck yeah. Well, let's see. I got went over the new releases. Oh, like we already talked about Moss Records.
Yeah. That's
Let's
that
see,
little trip next month.
And got your promo, got your music videos, upcoming shows. And we're about 50 minutes now.
Yeah.
So
Keep it
that's-
going.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So how much longer do I guys have you for?
I'm here. We got more questions. I got more answers. Let's talk some music. Let's talk shop.
I got one question for both of you.
Okay.
Who's your two questions.
If you're about to ask me who my inspiration is.
No. I mean, I guess kind of, but
I'm gonna say reshuffle
who's your favorite artist and who's your favorite like performing artist?
Oh.
So
That's hard for me.
for me, my favorite artist, it's this guy named PJ Morton. He recently got really popular. He just won a Grammy like a couple of years ago for he did a cover of the Bee Gees' "How Deep Is Your Love." But he's my favorite like songwriter, singer, and then my favorite performing artist, I would have to say is, I don't know if you guys know who this band is, but Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
You probably know who
yeah.
Jamiroquai
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
but
I've heard of them.
I saw Jamiroquai my 30th birthday actually. Like
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
whenever he came to America. But
Heck
yeah, Jamiroquai is my favorite performing artist, and PJ Morton, favorite artist. Yeah.
Awesome.
You answered that a lot
you
easier
wanna
than
take this one first?
Well, because it's definite for me. Like I've been listening to
That's
PJ
good.
since
So hard for me.
2008.
I got you.
He's still on some of my playlists, so it was just an easy question. And just I've been listening to Jamiroquai for a while. I love Michael Jackson, but I've never seen him perform live.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's an easy answer.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. Like I do, he's up there for me. He's in my top
Well,
three.
with holograms, you might still get a chance. Like,
But yeah, so that's it's an easy,
Holograms.
definite answer for me. But what about you guys?
so as a promoter, I say like names like all the locals be like real butthurt. So I'm gonna avoid like any of the local names. But there are some great performances. Check out our Facebook pages. Those performers are amazing. Back when I was just starting out, as like trying to like take notes as far as like watching the people I was opening up for and whatnot. It's the live performances that really make or break artists for me. Like, cause I'll hear like so much and then go see someone live and there'll be like no energy on stage, or they'll be doing backing tracks and then there's like almost no vocals and they're just filling in the ad libs, which is even worse. J. Cole, I saw him live back on his Forest Hills Drive tour, and just like the stage setup between him, Big Sean, and YG, just watching like how they like transition between songs and whatnot. Just the level of production.
I like J. Cole's stage presence, especially like when he's in the mic. He doesn't yell in the mic. He's
And then like he holds.
He's a real artist.
He holds your attention. He doesn't need to like do crazy over the top stunts. Whereas like Big Sean would do crazy over the top stunts and still hold your attention.
Yeah.
I opened up for Beltron 3030, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. He just some of that old school mentality and tactics of holding crowds and attention span. Just the way he navigates and moves on stage is just something else.
Yeah.
Afroman opened up for him a couple times.
He comes through there quite a bit.
It's just like you know these songs. You grew up with them, but like it's the swagger when he walks into the building, like Afroman's here. like it's just those kind of artists that bring their presence to that stage is so important. We shifting, we adjusting.
Yeah, you good.
You look like you're preparing to answer this question.
That'd be a good one.
That's
cool. Afroman,
there's a lot of art, and then like basically as a promoter, as an opening artist, a touring artist, all these things. Now what I'm looking for is just like not only that stage presence. We getting that feedback. Yeah, that was you. That was you, girly pop.
That's
my
okay.
bad.
We'll keep
You'll
that.
never hear it.
Just cut that out. You guys don't know what we're talking about.
Regroup. So not only the stage performances, but like I really like an artist who just has that humbleness to actually interact with the crowd before they go on stage. Like I hate a green room artist.
Yeah.
Like just there are certain artists that probably need to be separated from a crowd beforehand, especially when they have crowds of
50,000 plus.
Yeah, exactly. I'll even go as small as like 500 plus. But like, I just like there's a few artists that I've opened up for, and the numbers are so small as those who actually interact at merch tables and the crowds beforehand that like I just see that, and there's just like I'm gonna stick around for this person because like they showed up early to have conversations. They're not afraid to talk to their fans. Like these are the people that bought your tickets. Like I mean, some people are obligated for their meet and greets and whatnot, but if you aren't on like a meet and greet contract and like you don't plan on sticking around for a good long time after your set, show up early, stick around, talk to the crowd beforehand, because that's the time they get. That's what they paid for. They paid for it to come see you. Like whether or not you're performing, they want to see you. So even a handshake or a fist bump goes a long way. Like
what about you, Kat? Favorite artist?
I rambled on for 5 minutes to let you think of an answer.
A little bit more time. I can do it before.
Like I feel like I don't just sound like the basic artists that are like celebrity people that are around, but like
is yours?
Taylor Swift.
I feel no. I'm no hate to Taylor, but like I'm not a
Swiftie.
Not a fan, honestly, at all.
I don't listen to that.
Yeah, I've grown up listening to it because, of course, her music was like a big thing when I was like younger.
It was a big thing when I was younger.
Yeah,
like,
I'm still young. I feel like I'm like so old. But a few years back when I was younger, But for me, I really love Adele. Like I actually sing a lot of Adele, but I just, like he was saying, she'll literally just take the time out of her performance to just, like, if she sees someone, like, isn't doing well, like, because you could see in the crowd, she'll be like, hey, stop, like, they need help, or she'll, like, just interact with them, and same thing with Lady Gaga, another one of my favorite, like, artists. Straight powerhouse, just straight, like, so inspirational. She does so many different, like,
she's an
music
artist.
genres. She just does everything.
Really well.
Like, I love Lady Gaga.
That's what I can say.
That's like one of my favorite artists for sure.
I've had to dig into a few of her setups because I like drummers and I check out drummer setups for different professional singers and stuff. And their set changes a lot.
It changes 100%,
crazy,
but it's amazing what she does.
So you were saying Adele. Did Adele drop an album last year?
She did. I think it's called 30.
And you're saying piano dropped off? Like, that's not adding up for me, because isn't she like a big piano?
No, it's just overall. It's just overall.
Adele, she does a lot of
whole
piano.
chart.
Yeah.
And her albums go based off her age, I guess, because like back when she did one for like 20 and now it's like 30. So it's a really good album.
That's good. I mean, that's the one thing I have with a lot of artists, especially as they get older. Their music doesn't age with them.
Right.
So it's like,
her music is just it's going.
There are some rappers who are rapping like they're early 20s and
Yeah.
like guys, girls, you're like in your mid to late 30s, like you should be on some JC stuff. Talk about the block that you just purchased.
Right.
Like, just don't, you know, like you can't just like that illusion of just like the people's people. Like
Right.
you make $5 million a year. Like, come on, like talk about that.
Right? Come on now.
Try to make that relatable. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
where like an artist like Lady Gaga,
Right.
Adele,
And Lady
like,
Gaga's the same way. Like, she loves her fans. She's all about her fans. Like, I've seen so many videos where she'll have people, like random people from the crowd, like play piano with her or sing. And I just like admire that because I feel like a cocky artist is never like
No.
a good thing. Like,
that's a huge
be
turn
humble
for me,
about
too.
what you do, you know? Like,
Be humble.
you're great.
You are
and-
so lucky to be where you are.
Right, you know, like don't like take
it takes a lot
advantage
of
of
work.
it where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm like the shit and
I think that's a small part while I'm trying to shift into some other genres right now
Yeah.
because hip-hop
Hip-hop is
lives
very-
off of that bravado.
Yeah.
Like, I am the best. I walked into the
Right.
room, fuck you.
yeah, like that's
it's
literally
like-
the vibe of it.
and it's like you can't like and so
Yeah.
like you have these big personalities but
It's hard to
like
be the nice guy in
progress
hip-hop
the,
game.
Yeah.
the progress doesn't
It
show.
is.
So like they want to be crowned for no achievements.
Yeah.
So like where I'm talking to like bands and singers and whatnot, they're just really happy to be making music
Yeah,
with other musicians.
literally.
I'm like, that's
It's all good
That's why I
vibes.
That's
like
a vibe
songs
that I
like
like.
Tyler the Creator, Mos Def, and stuff like that.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
like-
Tyler the
Yeah.
Creator.
Yeah, I really for performing artists and stuff like that. Yeah, for me it's drummers,
yeah.
unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I think my biggest influence is just drumming. You know what I mean? And drummers, very easy right now for me would be two people, Larnell Lewis and Thomas Lang. I've learned more from just videos that they have posted online, sharing all their awesome hard work to get to where they are. And getting to do some work with like Snarky Puppy, just backstage, backline shit, and getting to see like their whole process and getting to set up the drum sets. And Larnell Lewis wasn't at that show, unfortunately, but yeah, just outstanding drummer. Just their whole squad. Actually, they got 3 really good kit drummers, and they kind of shift around and stuff.
I think I got like 4. Well, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was talking about the show that we were at.
okay.
Yeah, it was a St. Clearwater Jazz
I
Holiday.
have 6.
Yeah. But,
So you're real big in the drumming one. Have you seen the content that has been coming out where the drummers are basically being given instrumentals to songs without drums in them and they have to recreate the drum?
absolutely. Yeah,
I
without
love
ever
that.
hearing it.
I love that
Yeah.
shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've been watching those videos on repeat.
And that's essentially what I've always kind of done as far as like I just really, really like a song that comes on and say if it's something that is well within my ability to play, I will embellish it right off the rip as soon as I hear it. You know, because I can play the main fundamental, but what makes you is your accenting, your ghost notes, your the
Like,
dynamics
you
of it all.
know when Travis Barker is on a song. Like it's there. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's my whole thing. If I'm already comfortable with the song, then I can embellish right off the rip. But there's so many just good drummers out there that are so far out of my wheelhouse. It'd be like shit just to play that one song. It's gonna be 3 months of practice. You know what I mean? Just to like be able to perform this without it sounding like crap. But usually it's like you're developing a whole feel. That's somebody else's feel.
Yeah.
So to develop that alone is next to impossible.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
To
have
mimic
to
someone's flavor.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to kind of get as close as you can physically, and then start making it your own from there. And give it your own flavor and whatnot. But sticking.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest difference too between
Sticking
a
is
good
sticking.
professional drummer that's trained well and knows his music and knows his sheet music, knows how to read, is they can play these stickings very, very accurately to what the actual composition was asking for originally. And that will be, are you playing in a big band or an orchestra, or are you playing anywhere else? Because those musicians are so sought after, especially if you can sight read at full speed, you know what I mean? Because you're learning songs that would take, instead of 3 months, you're learning it on the drive over because you can sight read.
Yeah.
So it's just another
That's
language.
cool.
And so that's why I kind of challenge us all to get better at that. You know what I mean? Just, it's one of those things that doesn't seem like practical or a big help, but it definitely is, to be able to really meld with the rest of the band and kind of understand what they're doing. Because, we got to know what notes to play, but best reason is why. Why are we playing these notes? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, so we're like at an hour, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to
guys-
call it?
Yeah, you guys ready to conclude?
Yeah. We'll do our little wrap up.
We gotta get to the
Gotta
other
get
side of the state.
Cruising and breezing.
Yeah, we got a gig over there with my band.
What's the gig for tonight? I know it's not going to be like in time, but you can go ahead.
And that's at Terra Formata, my band, The Reality.
It's
Heck
a
yeah.
reality.
But we'll May 24th, Cage Brewing will be there.
Heck yeah.
If this is out by then, if the files don't get corrupted.
Hey.
They definitely
knock
won't.
on
It looks
wood.
like everything went off without
Yeah,
a
for
hitch.
real.
I think this is gonna be a good episode. Yeah, good episode. Man.
Yeah, everybody did a great
Glad
job.
you guys as
Yeah,
our first
thank you
guest. It went
guys.
really well. You guys were awesome.
Thank you
Like,
very
Thank
much.
you.
it went as well as I expected, but also a little bit better.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm glad we were able to just have a conversation
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
that was
and stuff. So that was awesome. And I'm going to pre-record the sponsor stuff later, so we're not even
Perfect.
have to worry about that. But
Well, I'm
you know,
gonna just go ahead and
Yeah,
do my
yeah.
tags.
close out.
Follow my social medias. Bzeeks the music page. That's B-Zeik. You can find it on all platforms. If you want to follow the Instagram or Facebook, you can do B.Zeik. The promotion company is Facemelt. Facemelt World is the Instagram and the website. We also are putting together shows in we're pretty much going national here within the next year or two. So artists from all over that are hearing this, feel free to reach out to our pages. We have opportunities for a lot of new rappers, new R&B artists, bands, anyone who's trying to reach a platform to where they can actually promote and push their music on live shows or even through online. We do offer those opportunities and artist consultations as well. So I like to tell artists how they can make their own money. I don't need to make money off of you. If you're making money, we're all making money. So reach out to the pages. I can figure out how to help you from there. And I look forward to answering some messages.
Very well said.
Yeah. My name is Kat Hines. If you go to my website, kathines.com, all my socials are linked up to that. And you can pretty much just find like where I'm at, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And again, check out that song Fire Endlessly. It'll be dropped on all well, it should be dropped already, but it's just taking a little bit of time. So appreciate your time, guys. And yeah.
Signing off.
Very nice.
Sayonara.
Hey, thank you guys, everybody, for listening. I got nothing important coming up other than some session work, so nothing exciting for me. We're going to record some more episodes, and we're going to have everything released here just shortly after the second quarter. I really appreciate everybody. Check all the sponsor stuff down in the description. Click those links. Like, share, subscribe. Please check out everybody here in this room. They're all awesome people and deserve it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
We're signing out.
Smash that like button.
The best musician's pro tip of all: when you're getting ready for a gig, you should have a little checklist for yourself. That way you don't forget anything. Like I'm about to go across the state. It would suck if I left my bass drum pedal or my throne or my cymbals or my whole drum set like I've done before in the past.
This is the tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
So just make a little list for yourself when you're loading up for your gig. I got this, and that. Make sure you don't show up like missing your main instrument. And that's it, guys.
First and last thing on that list, drink water.
Yeah, always stay hydrated.
And we'll see you next time.
See you
Thank you
around.
guys.